My condolence goes out to the family who lost their dear loved one due to that unprovoked, senseless, malicious act that took place. That things like that, it never gets old. I don't care if there's one a day. It hits hard, as if that can be an uncle of mine or a nephew of mine. It bothers me too with my people. When are we going to come to the realization that that God that you guys are worshiping isn't the God for you? That God isn't really protecting you. That God is only for you to keep you in servitude, in perpetual servitude. That even when you leave this planet Earth, there is a heavenly kingdom that you will go to and be of that level of servitude for this Christian God. And there's more than just one Jesus, even though they, believe me, as many as there's sects in Christianity, there's a Jesus also that represents that religion or that faith. There's enough information out here now where, especially the youth, to do some research and figure out the true history of Christianity, how it came into existence. And anything that has a creation, anything that has a beginning, most definitely will have an end. Today, I may be putting out my own death sentence on what I'm saying here, but Christianity, Islam, any type of faith that has been used to subjugate a people and put them in slavery is a false religion and is not meant for you. I have to take it there. That's how I feel. What's going to take place. This brother, he's going to be buried in a church, have a Christian burial, yidda kumbaya, and that's how. And then not too long, we're going to hear something else about another hindsight 2020 friendly fire, where they totally disregard. It's the energy that we're emanating, that we're putting out now, and that type of energy is not connecting you back to the earth. It's connecting you to some damn God up in heaven that has this very alien to us. As alien as they are to us with their belief system, he is alien to us. He knows nothing of us. It's equivalent to Barack Obama. Come on. He knows nothing of our struggle. Yeah, textbooks wise, he may have read it, he may have experienced certain things of his skin color, but do we have a great-great-grandpop, a great-great-grandmother of this complexion that went through the struggle that we have been through? No. So likewise, this Christian God has no type of relation to us. It's time for us now to look within ourselves. Since they stripped us of our language, they stripped us of our gods, and I'm not telling y'all to go back into that Native American stuff, because a lot of that is pseudo, probably mixed with Celtic, Wicca, everything that you can imagine, this all New Age stuff. It's time now. Once upon a time, we were all chiefs of this land, and not saying, yeah, we were all kings and queens like how like the Afrocentrics or the Afrocentric people say we were all one day kings. No, we were all chiefs. And meaning we saw ourselves as the very expression of the earth, very expression of creation, and we had that. I love to use that word. I got it from Sister Radine, America. We had that symbiotic connection to the planet, to the animals, to each other. We've lost that by thinking that we need to be watched all the time by some God in the sky or having two angels next to us, when we should always evaluate ourselves. We should always be monitoring the way we are. Every moment of every step that we take, from crossing the street to dealing with somebody, we should always, it's second nature. That's what I'm getting at. And I talked all that is this. Remember, You're practicing a religion that was used to conquer us, to trick us into accepting being servants, being slaves. All right, now since we put a black twist, now we put a black twist to this thing now, and we put some soul in it. You hear our music, you hear how the preachers preach. It's still just echoes of something that has been gone. It has no real energy except for the energy that everybody constantly keep putting in it. But it can't generate its own energy. There's no real power in that, especially for us. It's a death religion. It's a religion that calls for blood sacrifice. Simple as that. And the contradiction is, if he stopped Abraham from killing his own son and found a ram in the bush, but he allowed his own son to be sacrificed, that tells you right there that this religion is compiled of multiple stories. Mama's venting. That's my rant. Just understand, I'm about a person creating your own mantle, your own spiritual mantle. I'm not saying this is some type of voodoo, hoodoo stuff or some medicine like Crazy Horse where it makes you bulletproof. No, this mantle, it's a psychic mantle that'll put you in tune with different vibrations that may be in order with you, and vibrations that may be chaotic or disruptive. And when you're in tune with that, when you learn how to identify with that feel or whatever type of the way it communes with you, maybe a small voice talking to you through you, and you recognize that as your higher thought, you go with your gut, not the bubble guts, but you begin to live in a way of spiritually being in tune with your environment, with the damn insects, with the dang old gnats, with these damn rabbit raccoons, rabbit possums, rabbit foxes. I see all these things in my neighborhood, and I've talked a lot. I've talked a bit too much, and we have to start looking within ourselves. The true God, the true living God, you're looking at one who's speaking to you. If you go in the mirror, you'll see the true living God and goddesses. And now we have to start empowering that thought and ask ourselves, how can we live how can we live to our highest light? It's all about breathing. It's all about your posture. And it is about what you cultivate, what type of thinking you're cultivating. And we have to think about grounding ourselves back to the earth. Two things we are afraid of leaving, and that is this damn Christian God, and the other God is the one that's on our currency, and God we trust. And I have to say, if we're able to rise above that, everything else will be smooth sailing. We'll truly begin to return to the indigenous way of life. And I'm not talking about no native life, nothing that has been retaught to them. Dig what I'm saying? Though they're on the reservations, though they may yada yada, the BIA agents. Alright? Think on what I'm trying to say. With us, it's naturally within us. We as indigenous people of the copper colored people here of America, the American Negro, the Terra, however you want to say it, the true inhabitants, the Aborigines of this continent, we just naturally know how to revert back. We can revert back into our correct state, the correct way of life. And unfortunately, there's going to be many more, because a lot of people think that I need Jesus. And I'm here to tell you, in my solemn mind, I'm very cognitive, I don't. And I've been in plenty of situations to show that I don't. And I know that one day I will be leaving this planet. I know. So with that being said, Kichiwa, I love y'all. Stay optimistic.